I have a big salad today. Hello and welcome back to Shed Wars. Your garden bed is doing well. Starting up here, we see our first 42 days tomato. And there's another one growing right there. Tomatoes are coming. Now as you see with the Swiss chard here, we have spaces. This is why you seed more than what the final plant spacing will be, because you don't know what the germination rate will be. So this was the plant spacing, and now there is a couple, they're spread out, so I should be able to take this center plant with some soil and transplant it out into that space. Because if you don't take it with a lot of soil, then it's going to have too much of a transplant shock, as I've been talking about before, and it won't survive. So we'll dig a hole out here first. I watered this last night, see, so the soil is moist. And then we'll take this plant with a lot of soil and we'll put them down that hole. Like so. But now after that is done, you have to water it in well. And I don't have the hose over here, so I'll water that in afterwards. This is your kohlrabi. I still have some that are close together, but we're spacing them out as they grow. Your spinach, is it? Yeah. The spinach, for the most part, it's got really just that one space there that's right there. So we won't worry about that. And you will get some damage from nature. That you can't avoid. Even the people who douse their stuff with chemicals and all, they get damage. So you see this leaf here, it has some holes in it. It was probably a cabbage moth. We don't have much pressure this year from either the cabbage moth or the slugs, which is working in your favor. But in my experience, when you get the occasional leaf like that, or you get the occasional hole in the leaves of turnip or rutabaga, it's nothing to worry about. As I said in another video, if you have those occasional holes though, and then you weaken the plant by pulling up your thinning and you put a bunch next to them, then you've got problems. So this is why you need to keep your plants as healthy as possible to reduce pest pressure. I pointed out a couple of which I think was snails. A little bit of damage was done to the beans. There's none done since. Potatoes are growing nicely. If they come out and they're shading the beets here, I can prune off the leaves that are overshadowing the beets. But I still need to find a way to put on as much meadow clippings for a mulch around the base of the potato. And when the beets get higher, maybe I can get it to come out here. I won't be able to put on all that much, but I need to put on some so that the sun don't get at the tubers that are beneath and turn them green. The peas and the sunflowers are coming along just nicely. And what I want to do now is a little demonstration on why I was talking about having these definite borders along and keeping the meadow from encroaching on your beds, and the use of that edging shovel. You may or may not want a pair of gloves for doing something like this. But a lot of your plants, your weeds, like let's say this lamb's quarter here, that's spread by seed. So when you pull it up and you get it roots and all, then you've got the plant. You get rid of that and it's not coming back. However, there are plants that run by above ground runners. I'm trying to look for one now. Like those. And the lamb sorrel. And the runners can be hidden in your mulch. You pull up the plant, you think you've got the roots, and what you've done was break off the runner, and then the runner continues to put out new plants. Worse yet are the underground runners called stolons and grasses and stinging nettles are the worst two that I have for that. And I know grasses, they can send up in the middle of a 3-foot bed. You see this tuft of grass, and that runner has come all the way from the meadow outside. Those underground runners, the stolons, they are like a modified limb of a tree. And when you cut the limb off a tree, well, that causes them to bush out. So I take the grass and I pull it up. And what I've done was break off. That's those runner seeds sending out runners. Now, but I've broken off right there. I've broken off the runner that was attaching it to this grass out here. But because it's still attached out here, that runner still has life. And now it will separate and bush out however many nodes is on it. I could have 2, 4, even 6 grass plants pop up in my bed because I've broken off that runner. Don't think you need to see all of me. As we were saying, we end the grass, the meadow plants, on the outside of our border. Anything past that should be, well, relatively weed free. To actually kill those underground runners, you need to separate it both from the plant that's in your bed and from the meadow. So we'll go around tight to the border with our edging shovel and cut down in. Now you'll only have to do this once or twice a year, and it won't be this bad. This was where I had the compost bin, so stuff grows like crazy anyway. And I made these at the beginning of last year, and I haven't touched it since. The nice thing about having rocks or bricks as your border is that you can move them away like I just did. I'm going to have to use extra help here. Yep, I should have done this maybe once again last year in the middle of the season. And then at the beginning of this season. Then I wouldn't have that much mess. I'd just have a little bit of sod out here. Then of course, I can replace the rock. See these runners? They can be very long sometimes. That's what's going to happen when it gets really bad. Over here it might not be as bad. See, that's where I cut them off. There they are, running out into the bed, see? I missed the spot. See, it wasn't growing in too far here, so it was much easier to remove it. So now I have quite a visible border there again. And if I add mulch, then I will put mulch in around the rocks, like some wood chips or something. And then of course my metal chips on my metal clippings on the inside. They are another normal task for once yearly, twice yearly maybe, for a beginning gardener to keep his beds, if you're making similar beds to mine, clean. You just edge them around and it'll help you greatly for reducing the grass, stinging nettles. There's a few others that does that too. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.